Hi everyone, Jan Fursdon here from Fursdon House. I have a very special journal to share with you today. I've been wanting to do this for about 2 years and I kept putting it off and putting it off, and I finally decided I'm going to do it. So I did it finally. It's special to me because it's an Edith Holden, and I'm calling it an Edith Holden Winter Journal. It is comprised of pages that are original pages from 3 of the books that I have from her. One is the Nature Notes of an Edwardian Lady. The other one is the Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. And the other one is called the Edwardian Lady, and it's a book about her life by Ina Taylor. So those 3 books comprise what's in here. There are a couple of her original pages from the book. It's called the Country Diary Christmas Book, but 1 or 2 only, very few. And those are, again, original pages, but the main pages and pictures and everything are from those 3 that I mentioned. And it's all winter scenes, not Christmas. I mean, there are some Christmas things in there, but it's not just for Christmas, and that's why I'm calling it a winter journal. Got a little interesting trying to create some of the ephemera for it, because I kept wanting to put in other stuff that was from her, you know, in the middle of summer over there, beautiful flowers and things like that. But this is strictly winter. So all of those pages are from that time frame, about October, November, December, and some in January. So let's get started. As you can see, it's a little on the chunky side, and I wanted it to be a sort of a serious book, not frivolous in any way, and that's why I chose this background. I didn't want to put any kind of a special cover or anything like that, so I just enhanced the fabric. I love this fabric. I've had this for a while, and it just kind of spoke to me as something Edith would like. We have 4 corner covers, metal corner covers that I believe are, I wanted to say Tim Holtz, but I'm thinking they're not. I'm thinking I got them at Hobby Lobby in their wood section. So I'll clarify that one way or the other in the notes below. And this is a Tim Holtz nameplate, and you can write your name on there. I started to put something on. I thought, nope, leave it. Someone else will fill that out, whoever purchases it. So yes, it is for sale in my Etsy shop. I'll put that link below for you. The spine, yeah, it's kind of chunky. It started off as a 3 signature, and then I didn't like how it was looking, so then I made it into a 4 signature by taking the 3 apart and then adding a little bit to it. The spine is 3 10/16 of an inch, and the dimensions here are 7 inches by 9 inches. As I said, it has 4 signatures. Depending on how you count the pages, it's about 65 pages, maybe a few more. And not all of those pages are bound, because I have so much ephemera in there that it was making it chunkier and chunkier. And I really liked what I was using, but I wanted to still, every time I took a page away from you by putting ephemera on it, I wanted to give you some other pages. So I have some loose papers in there, and you'll see those in a minute. But those papers are by Carol Tinson, and those are called the Magic of Christmas papers. You might recognize them when you see them. Beautiful papers. Some others are they're called Printable Antique End Pages, and those are by Roxy Creations. And then on the backs of those pages, and those are all loose, they're not bound in the book, but they are loose. On the backs of those, I've used TaylorMade Journal's lace coffee-dyed papers. Those are just fabulous. They make great backings to anything, because you can write right over them, but you still see the imprint of lace. So again, I'll put all of those links and things below. Let's go ahead and open it up. It's hardbound, and let's see, you can see the side view there. And we will just open it up. Make sure I'm in focus, because it is rather large. Okay, so for the front, and this is the problem that you run into when you're using original pages. You'll find things on the reverse of a page that you just can't bear to cut out. It's like, well, if I cut the front out, then I've lost the back. So it gets a little interesting. And this one certainly proved to do that in a couple of instances. So I overcame that in this instance by doing this. And literally just, this is the whole, you know, the page that was, and the front and the back. But I just loved this one with the birds that are in the coconuts. And Edith talks about that in her diary, about how she would put out coconuts for the birds to eat during the wintertime. And I just could not see myself getting rid of that. So I literally just saved the back of it. So there you see the front. And then here, this will be a letter to the whoever purchases the journal. And I've saved as much as I could. This is the actual spine from one of the books. This is the Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady, and this is the actual spine. And I just very carefully cut around it, stitched it down, and gave you some decorative paper here. And I thought that'd make a great bookmark. So, and this, well, this is a picture of Edith Holden. This was about the time of her marriage. And it says it's one of the few portraits in existence. There are not a lot of pictures of her. And I just left it undecorated so that you could see a little bit about her and her family and what have you. So there that one is. This one, let me get the book so I'll make sure I'm quoting it properly. Yes, this and a few of the others are from this book. It's the Edwardian Lady, Story of Edith Holden. And it's compiled by Ina Taylor, author, of course, Edith Holden, author of the Diary of an Edwardian Lady. And so there's that book. So there are those 3 different books that I've used exclusively. And this one came from that, and I just thought that was really neat. And I've tried to give you some information as I've gone through here. Here's where she actually talks about hanging up a coconut for the birds, which of course is what she's doing over here. Let's put that in there. I'm going to turn him sideways. Here we have, there we go. This is Holly. And it's just a little booklet that I've created. I've gotten some stamping going on here. And then pages so that you actually have room to write. What a concept. It's a journal. And I've just put some stamping here. And that slides in here. This is one of my, am I still in focus? Yes. This is one of my pressed flowers. These are the ferns. And there's writing space on the reverse. This is the last one I have like this. I'm going to have to make some more. And I want to thank Jane Lockwood for, she made a beautiful Edith Holden journal for me, and she gave me so many ideas, and cutting out this was one of them, and I thought that was just really neat. So I've got a couple of ideas in there from her, and she's just, oh, she's fabulous. And she's only created, I think, 1 or 2 journals, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it is just amazing. So here's one of those pages that's loose that I was telling you about, and there's the lace. It's from Tailor-Made Journals, and all of the loose pages are backed with this so that you can still write, but you still get the beauty without having just a plain sheet of paper on the reverse. And these are the antique end pages that came from Roxy Creations. Is it going there? Yeah, who knows. This is, and I may just leave some of this loose instead of trying to put it all back, otherwise it's going to take me forever and a day. And of course, this one does not want to come off. Everything's normal. So here we have just some wording cut from the book. And this is a little booklet that I made. And we've got Edith Holden there. It's just got some pages in there to journal on. And that was the back side of that. In this pocket we have, this is another one of those decorative pages. This is the one from, I love this paper, it's gorgeous. And this one's by Carol Tenson, and it's called The Magic of Christmas. And again, I'll put those links, but I just love that paper, because it's not just Christmassy. It can be used for Christmas, but not just that. And then also in here, this is a poem that Edith wrote. Of course, she drew this. And then on the reverse, this was another one where I thought, well, I can't possibly get rid of the fox. He's too sweet. And it's on the same page. So again, I just put this up in here. So you have a little bit of writing space, but still get to see the beautiful picture. So Of course, there's the pocket with another original page. I backed these for strength. I backed them with cardstock so that they were nice and sturdy. And here we have a pocket, some decorative buttons. This is a postcard. Well, if I turn it up right side. Blackbird, robin, hedge sparrows, or dunnocks, and a blue tit in holly and ivy. And that came from the Nature Notes. That's one of my favorite pictures. That's, as a matter of fact, look here. There you go. That's why it's one of my favorites. I love it. And then these are, again, more decorative pages. I've just done a little stamping here, more cut from the book here. This is what I call a fabric fall. I just thought, I love the look of this fabric. Again, I've got lots of fabric because I make tea cozies and aprons and things. And I just love the look of that, so I thought, that's perfect. Here we have some large journal tags. So you've got your space here for writing. This was in the book. This is by looks like R.L. or R.Z. Stevenson, probably L. And it's about the month of December. And I've just put some vintage buttons and some lace here. Left the reverse empty so that you can, again, have space for journaling. And this was on the reverse. That's an original page. Fruit of the dogwood and blackberry. And I've just done some decorative stitching. This is one of my favorite stitches. That's a decorative stitch that my sewing machine does, and it's leaves, and I thought that was so neat. I had a lot of fun with that. Here we have our the beginning of the second signature. We have just some crocheted lace flowers, an original page from the book, and then this is just cut out from this. You know, again, you're trying to save every bit of this book that you can because they are very expensive. They're getting worse. They're getting much more expensive. When I first started about 2 years ago, I could find them for $4 and $5 a piece, and now they're $20 and $30 a piece minimum. So you save every little piece. So that was a bit of a scrap, and I thought, okay, you're not going anywhere. You're going right in the book. So, I mean, I'm glad that it's like we've made her work popular again, which is great, but the price is that the book itself goes up in price. Again, this is an original page. I've just cut around it. And this is about a robin. And then on the reverse, I've cut out a robin. That is, you know, obviously she painted that, drew it, and painted it. Nice lot of space to draw on. And then this I've left blank on the reverse so that you can read a little bit about her sister Evelyn. She had 4 sisters and 2 brothers. This talks about Effie and Evelyn. Violet, I believe, is her other sister. And then, of course, I can't remember the 4th one. And that she drew this. Edith Holden drew this for a book. And I think it was her and her sister Violet who were working on that book together. The whole family is, or was, very artistic. And so it's kind of neat. Again, thank you, Jane Lockwood, for showing me how to do this. Beautiful. I just love that cut where it comes down here. And again, it's been backed with cardstock to make it sturdy. And I just put the leaves and the little beads on there. Here we have a postcard. Mistletoe. Okay. And this, oh, I love this sheet. Again, the lace on the reverse. And then we have this in antique end papers. It's a reproduction, obviously, but just beautiful design. Da, 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 da. There we go. All right. This is a pocket I've created using a CD sleeve. Again, the design inside is from Edith Holden. And then I've added a pocket here. Jane also taught me how to do this, Jane Lockwood. How you cut out things and you put it on something. I just thought that was neat. Here we've got some more cut out. information from the books. A vintage doily, some stamping. I think you've already seen this paper. And again, it's the reverse there. And I think I'm not sure if you've seen this one or not, so I'll open it up. And again, those are, I'll put the link below for those, all of that. Here we have, there was this little piece of paper left on the back of one. I thought, you're not going anywhere either. This is a water hen, or also called a moor hen, or a moor hen. I'm giving it my southern dialect here. And that was from January, I believe, of the Edwardian Diary. And again, the little pocket there. Here we have a booklet. Now this one came from the book about Edith Holden. And I wanted to include some information. This is one of the, in Olton, in Gowan Bank. And this was about 1920. And then you open it up, and I've deliberately left all the information here so that you can read about it. Put in some blank papers. These are the coffee dyed lace papers from tailor-made journals. And this is part of a Christmas card that Edith drew. And the comic verse is written by Edith, but she did not include one of her own paintings here. Oh, that was really neat. And I've just put some lace on the edge there to pretty it up. Here we have a pocket, again, original page, been reinforced, put some vintage buttons and a little bit of fabric there. And I've just taken things that she had in the book that were in script. This one's The Owl by Tennyson. And giving you some space on the reverse. Okay, and then we have, each one of these has something from the diary. The cutouts are the Tim Holtz die cuts. And let's see, there's that. And then there's this one. Okay, and here is another one of my pressed flowers. Just done a little stamping down here. This is a Virginia dogwood. I loved it because it reminds me of, and a lot of people will say this, the cross. And I just thought that was neat. Put a vintage bit of crochet there. And then on the reverse, I've just put a vintage doily and some bits and pieces here. Brought it together with a little burgundy bead. And here you have just writing space here. I wouldn't write up there. I mean, you can if you're very careful, but again, you don't want to damage the dogwood blossom. And I've just done some cutout here and cut out here again, not wanting to waste anything at all. My cat is trying to get into the studio and he knows better, so he's having difficulty. He's over there fussing at me, but oh well. Here we have another pocket. And this is the Golden Crested Wrens. So sweet. I've just put some vintage buttons up here. And inside I've put a page just for writing. And again, what I've done with this one is I've just included 3 pages. These are from the Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady, but it's the paperback. It's a large size paperback version that I was fortunate enough to purchase about 2 years ago. And I've just left them blank so that you could see them, use them in your own journals if you wish to, that kind of thing. This is the beginning of the 3rd signature. And here we have this, I think it's a thrush or a wren. Oh, I can't remember. A wren, I think. Anyway, I've just put some lace here, some on the reverse. This is a Christmas card painted in watercolor by Edith and sent from Olton to the Trathans. The Trathans or Trathans are some friends of theirs. And it shows a Scottish scene. Vintage buttons here. Again, these are original pages. And I've just given you some space to write in here. All cutouts from the book. This was one where, again, I didn't want to not use I wanted this, but I also wanted that. And I thought, what am I going to do? And so what turned out started as one page, literally this page here. I thought, what am I going to do? And then I added the pages on top. It took me a while, but it just sort of kept developing. I'm not. This is an oil painting by Edith of the Trathans' Great Dane. His name was Rob Roy, which Edith gave to them. They were very close friends, and that's very sweet. Yeah, this book sort of took on a life of its own, and I said, what am I going to do? Well, okay, there's that. This is a thrush feeding on the berries of the rowan or the mountain ash. And I've just cut that out. Some ribbon, accordion ribbon, and some trim. This is a little envelope with a vintage doily, or not doily, what do you call them? Well, yeah, actually it came from a doily. I cut it out. This tag, I got this idea from Jane. And this, this is something special. Last year, I was at my favorite antique junk shop, whatever you want to call it. And they always have such neat things. And there were 3 books. Let me show you what they actually were. One of the books was falling apart, and that's where this came from. And here's the book itself. And it's for records. And these hold 45s. Vinyl records, for those of you who are old enough to appreciate that. It's embossed there. And this one was really nice because it's completely empty. It hasn't been written in or anything. And these are the holders. And as I said, the other, I had a total of 3. And they were practically giving them away. And I was like, yes, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I want them. And this is what I came up with, are just literally pockets. And again, I've inserted pictures here that are stable. And then you've got the card in here. But those are to hold 45s. And as I was going through, I even found the little centerpiece. It's a plastic centerpiece. It's about, well, about the size of the whole of one of the vinyl records. And I thought, what in the world is that? And then I remembered that fit inside the record so that it would allow it to sit on the turntable. I am giving my age away, it's true. But there it is. It's all good. Blessed to have age. There we go. And sweet little birds there. Cut out from some fabric that I have. This is an owl, a white owl. Really neat. Even these little things. Those are all from the book itself. So again, you just want to save every bit of that as you can. And there's reverse and a leaf. And there's the reverse. And this is something that I've tried. I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but we were putting up our wreaths on the house. Well, actually, my granddaughter was doing it. I was supervising. I'm sure that's what it was called. She did a great job. But some of the bits and pieces fell off, and I found this, and I thought, I wonder if I can use that. And then, of course, a few days later, I started on this journal, and I was like, maybe that'll work. And I think it turned out rather well. So, anyway, that's what I did. Here you can see a cutout of a bird, again, saving all those bits and pieces. This is some yummy ribbon that I purchased years and years ago. I've had it at least probably 10 years. And you can't use it on just about everything, but I love the colors, and I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and use it. And this is a little seed packet. Seed type, variety, notes, date purchased. And then, of course, the cutout from Edith Holden, and one of these beautiful, there's the lace part. And then, because I wanted these, I picked out the papers that sort of reflected fall and winter time and things of that nature. That was the idea behind it. Is it going to go in there and behave itself? Actually, it doesn't go in like that. It goes in like this. Not even sure why I'm bothering, but there it is. Anyway, here's some fabric that I've had for ages, and I literally only have pieces left of it. It's kind of thick, and it reminds me of tapestry. And I thought it would be perfect for this book with the bird of paradise there. It's nice and thick, and I wish I had more, but the place that I purchased it at burned down. Not happy. Not happy. Here we have a CD sleeve. I put some lace on the reverse, created a card here. And I just, this, I backed this. Now, the page is original. And then I backed it with a piece of cardstock that I had. It was strictly a piece. And I noticed all these perforations. I forget why they were even there. I was probably practicing or something. And I thought, well, perfect. Then I'll just put the ribbon through there. So that turned out really nice. I like little nice surprises like that. They're especially nice. And this is, it's not wax. I use glue sticks and a glue gun, and basically come up with a seal that is more pliable than using wax. Wax after a while crumbles, and even when you first use it, it can get hard and crack and what have you. It's beautiful, but it's not very, I don't know, it doesn't hold up well under pressure, to my way of thinking. So I like this, and I've just used that color of glue stick. And there you have it. This is the final signature. This is some lace that I put on here. And again, cutouts. And this opens up like so. I made these in the summer. I wanted to do something with these cardboard cutouts that I had. And I thought, took me a while to come up with something. Again, that's Edith Holden's print. I love this lace. It's just so pretty. I use it frequently, which I'm sure y'all have seen. Here we have a library card. Again, it's the same cutout, but in a smaller version. And we have, these are blank on the reverse. And they were in Edith's book. And this is, I think this is the final one of my pressed flowers. This one is the wine red Widgula. And I've put this on the reverse from her book, The Toadstools. And again, you just open it up. And on this one, there was a smudge or something on the page that I noticed at the last minute. I thought, okay, I don't want any smudges. So I just covered it up with, again, a page from her book. Here, this is a very special piece. This came from a lady sachet from about 1920. It was a bag, and a sachet is what women used to have. I think they started when they were late teens, sort of like a hope chest, but it was a bag, if you will. And they would keep their diaries in it, or their special, like their love letters or special things and that kind of thing. And they would keep them in their bedroom. And my understanding is they called them sachets. And this one had silk underneath, which literally deteriorated. I mean, when I purchased it, it was falling apart. But I loved this lace. So I question whether I should use it because it is fragile. But I thought, no, it needs to be appreciated. And this is about I think I have one tiny piece that was hanging here, but it was loose. But I just thought it would be perfect. And again, that was about 1920. Neat memories and stuff. Here we have a little tuck spot and another postcard. I'll get it out in a minute. And on this, I noticed this, and I started to correct it, and I thought, no, I'm not. I forgot to put the right, they're both that way. And there's writing on the reverse, and I turned it the wrong way. But then I thought, no, it's kind of cool, because then you can see it came from her book. This is another little library card holder. And I just had to put something in there, so I just put The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. What can I say? I'm like that. Here we have a very tight little pocket. I started to glue this closed because it was so tight, but I thought, no, I'm not going to. So you can fit something in there if you'd like, but I liked the idea. This was, again, was a piece that was just on the back of something that I'd cut out, and I thought, you know what? It will go right there. So, and again, these are pieces that I cut out. Here we have another, I've used this as a tuck spot, a large tuck spot, but it's one of the postcards. And then there are 2 sheets of decorative paper. Tim Holtz die cut there. So now you can understand why I say where it's between 65 and 70 pages if you're counting all of these loose ones as well. Because again, I tried to give you as much space as I could. I've used this, this was a postcard. I just rounded the edges and made it a large belly band. Put some decorative buttons here. And then underneath was the this page from January. And then I just put the blue there to reflect the blue in here. I thought, oh, should I use that blue? And I thought, well, it's Mother Nature's color, so I'm using it. And here we have that, what is this? Is it cheesecloth? I think it's cheesecloth. Anyway, this is another page that I couldn't cut up because it's one page. And on the front is a Christmas card to the Trathens from Edith. The painting shows 2 field mice with a poppy, harebells, and ox-eye daisies. Vintage buttons up here. And then on the reverse were 2 other Christmas cards. A Christmas card made by Edith for one of the Trathens in 1907. She used to write or paint one for each of the younger members of the family and continued to remember them at Christmas for many years. So they were very good friends of the family. And this one was done in 1909 for the Trathens. And wouldn't that be neat, doing your own Christmas cards? Of course, we send out over 100 and, let's see, this year it's 115 cards that went out. So I don't think I'll be hand doing any of those. Vintage buttons here and a little bit of my leaf ribbon there that I love. And which one? This is what I call a writing board. And what I like to do is, if you're writing, you take the page and you put it literally underneath so that it makes it easier to write. Because some of these things, they have the ephemera underneath, and it's very difficult. So that's what this is, and it's very sturdy. And of course, that's by Edith Holden. And this is the back of the book. So you can see it's a little shiny, but that was from the back of one of the larger books of the Edwardian Diary. And that's her about, I want to say 1910, 1911, somewhere in there.